Interview border czar Tom Homan. Tom, thanks for joining us tonight. Obviously, a fast-moving case. Abrego Garcia's lawyer says the government is, quote, weaponizing the immigration system against him. My question is, what's your response to accusations that you're weaponizing the immigration system? And will, in fact, Abrego Garcia soon be heading to Uganda?
Yes.
He is absolutely going to be deported from this country. He's not going to walk the streets of this nation. So he can enjoy the little time he has with his family. And for the person who says we're not going to separate family, well, his family can go with him because he's leaving.
He's still keeping up the same rhetoric, though. Hey, you got to give it to Tom Homan. That boy consistent. He said, look, I don't give a damn. Like, you're separating family. They can go with him to Uganda and live in an African country together as one big happy family. We don't separate families. We deport them. Okay, I'm just playing. Well, kind of. But he has a point, though. I mean, let's be real. We've been said he was supposed to be deported. There was an administrative error in deporting him to El Salvador. We were supposed to deport him to Guatemala, but now we're thinking more of Uganda.
He's going to be deported. Look, he's a criminal alien.
Oh, and shout out to my man Monty. He says steak and fish will be sold at the Cool versus Crass on December 25th. Tickets on sale now, $25. I mean, shout out Monty.
He's a member of MS-13, which is now a designated terrorist. He's a white beater. He's a human trafficker. He's been indicted for human trafficking and alien smuggling. He's a bad person. He's not going to be here. He's been order removed twice. Order removed by 2 different federal judges. He's going.
He got due process twice
to leave this country in the very near future, and his family can go with him. I can't see who was talking before the sound bites, but whoever said we're taking advantage of broken immigration system, what do they do? What do those people do the last 4 years about this broken immigration system? They let 10.5 million people cross that border. Sex trafficking women and children, all-time high. Overdose deaths of fentanyl, all-time high. Number of terrorists, all-time high. They didn't do anything to fix it. President Trump is keeping his promise to American people to enforce the law, and that's what we're doing. We're making this country safer every day by removing people like Abrego Garcia.
Hey, just to follow up, Tom. So just to be clear, is Abrego Garcia headed to Uganda? The lawyers apparently telling the AP.
And here's the thing. I don't even know why the lawyers pushed for his release. Like, they were playing with fire. And I honestly think they're playing with this man, Abrego Garcia. Like, I feel bad for him in this. Well, not really, but I feel bad for the way they're kind of playing with him. They're using him as a political pawn at this point. Because why would you let him out when ICE done threatened and said, yo, if you let this man out, we will deport him to Uganda, and then I don't know what y'all gonna do about that trial. What, we're gonna bring him back from Uganda to face the trial to be locked up here in America? I mean, it's just one big mess. But apparently, like ICE and Tom Homan, they're staying 10 toes down on him. They're like, no, he will be removed to Uganda, and we can deport him. He has 2 deportation orders.
The DHS notified on Friday at 4 p.m. that they may remove him to Uganda in 72 hours. Can you confirm that?
Yep.
Look, Uganda's on the table. We'll see. I mean, DOJ's, our immigration attorneys and the judges, they're all in negotiations, and we'll see what happens. But Uganda's on the table. We have an agreement with them. It's on the table. Absolutely.
Hey, Tom, it's Nicole. 1,700 National Guardsmen across 19 states are getting ready to help DHS crack down on crime and also the illegal immigration. ICE has already ramped up enforcement in D.C. with a new arsenal of SUVs.
And remember, the reason why people are so upset about this because he's still facing human trafficking charges, child pornography charges, and possible, SA charges as well, because he was smuggling women and he might have done something with them as well. And remember, he's been put on a grand jury. He's been indicted and all that good stuff. But his trial is not until, I believe, January of next year, of course. So this is why everybody's kind of outraged. They're like, yo, he has all these crazy crimes on him, but y'all letting him out? I mean, wild, but okay. Okay. And like I said, it's not like he's been cleared of any charges. Not cleared of any charges at all. Just pretty much said that he can go. And ICE is like, well, if y'all do that, we'll send him to Uganda. And shout out to my man Monty. He says, fight will be at S.E.T's house. I'm crying. No, I guess I'm gonna have to clear out the backyard for that one. And shout out to my man Chris 34. It's a new member. Hey man, welcome to the fam. Go ahead and send me an email, and I'll send you that Discord link.
Well, the border wall is getting a new coat of paint to keep the illegals off. Now, Secretary Noem is reportedly pushing for a fleet of planes to help with these deportations. But the left is continuing to stand in the way of immigration enforcement as an Obama-appointed judge ruled against Trump's efforts to withhold funding from sanctuary jurisdictions. So here's my question for you, Tom. How is the administration, how are they fighting this lawfare
Really?
addictions?
Hold on.
So here's my
Oh, thank God. Ain't no sanctuary cities in my state.
question for you, Tom. How is the administration, how are they fighting this lawfare, first of all?
Look, we got a great DOG. We got Pam Bondi head of that, and she's taking it to court. Now these radical judges are going to continue to stop or try to stop President Trump from, doing what he promised American people, making this country safe again, removing, the public safety threats, the national security threats who are illegally in the United States. They're not going to stop us from doing this. They're going to put roadblocks up. We're going to take them to court. We'll appeal the decisions and we'll win the decisions because we are enforcing the law. That's what the other side isn't talking about. We're not making this up. We're enforcing the laws enacted by Congress. ICE is out there every day enforcing the laws enacted by Congress, using the money that Congress gave them to do this, upholding the oaths they took. So we're going to continue doing this, and then President Trump's going to he's going to succeed. We're going to have the safest nation we've ever seen by the time his presidency ends. We are arresting thousands of public safety threats and national security threats every week across this country. And by spreading the National Guard, helping DHS on the streets, it's going to happen that much quicker.
Real quick, Tom, the question I have for you, though, is we're talking about the paint job for the border wall. We're talking about our new fleet of airplanes, but the border control, obviously all the progress is doing incredible things. We're at an all-time low of border crossings, but what are we going to do to expand support the existing border patrol agents to the next administration? Because
painted black so it attracts more heat and people are less likely to try to even go between it. Tough. That's tough. And shout out to my man Monty, says taking bets as well. Send in a super chat for your fighter now. Yep, send in a super chat for who you got. Is either Cool or Monty. And shout out Monty, the supporters. Appreciate the support, guys.
While border crossings may be down right now under Trump, we need to make sure that we have a lasting border patrol and immigration policy for the next time someone else is in the White House.
And that's exactly why President Trump pressed Congress very hard, along with myself and others like Steve Miller, to pass a big, beautiful bill. There's a lot of money in that to continue building that wall, continue building infrastructure, which includes technology within that wall, which includes the technology within the port of entries. So, the legal traffic can come through the port of entries quicker and more efficient while we're still catching the majority of the drugs, and the end game is to catch all the drugs. So all the technology and the big beautiful bill is going to stay. We're building the infrastructure that's going to last for decades, and we're also not only hiring 10,000 ICE officers, we're hiring more border patrol agents. So together with the new agents on the ground, the new technology, the new border barriers, we have a sustained presence on the border that's going to last for decades.
Tom, it's Lisa Booth. It's great to see you.
Right.
I want to get your take on this, sir. So a transgender anti-ICE rioter was arrested on Wednesday in San Francisco and charged with assault and destruction of federal property. This individual allegedly slashed the tires of government vehicles with a knife and threatened ICE agents, reportedly telling one, quote, "I'm going to F you up after I go after your family, and I'm going to stab you."
Yo, wait. That's what I'm saying. This is why the ICE officers wear masks, because there's some crazy ass liberals out there, leftists, who will literally try to hurt these people and their family members, who will literally look their faces up and dox them and try to go after their family members. And here's the problem: some of you guys in the chat think that is okay.
This individual is already back on the streets. Tom, how dangerous is it to be an ICE agent in today's America?
Well, look, it's always been dangerous to be an ICE agent. I mean, I was one for many years, but with all the hateful rhetoric right now, the attacks on ICE is up over 1,000%, and a lot of the hateful rhetoric from members of Congress, members of Congress who wrote a law
who are calling them the Gestapo, calling them terrorists, un-American, even though they're Americans doing their job.
Needs to be enforced. Right. So again, if you don't like what ICE is doing, go protest Congress. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws enacted by Congress that Congress funds us.
And shout out Drop Barracuda. He says the only solution is abolishing the president of the United States term limits. I mean, you know what? I was listening to Scott Horton, And he was pretty much damn near saying the same thing. He's like, I'm not really against term limits, but I mean, it is how our enemies kind of wait us out. It's like we can have a strong leader, and they're just like, all right, look, man, wait 4 years, they'll have a wimp in there, and we'll go ahead and dominate then. It's like, yeah, and then we're talking about countries that have leaders in for 20, 40 years. The superpowers like China and Russia. But, we're over here with the term limits, with the shaky leadership, not knowing which way the wind go and blow in the next 4 to 8 years.
To enforce. We're out there enforcing immigration orders by federal judges. So ICE is out there looking for public safety threats and national security threats. I looked at the numbers just this morning. 70% of everybody we're arresting is a criminal. Who's the other 30%? They're gang members, may not have a criminal history. They're national security threats. Most of them don't have a criminal history because they lay low waiting to do the bad deed. And the rest of them are final orders. These are people who had due process at great taxpayer expense of federal.
And shout out to my man Monty, says if you become a member now, you can have free access to the fight on Discord. And shout out Monty for promoting this fight. I mean, promotion well done. And the call-in line has now been open, so I'm gonna go ahead and post that tab in about 10 minutes. Appreciate the support, guys, and let's get it going. If you donated at least $1 or more to the stream, or if you're a member, you can go ahead and get in on the call-in.
Your judge said you must leave, and they became a fugitive. We're going to find them. We're going to remove them. We're going to send a message to the whole world. It's not okay to enter this country illegally. It's a crime. It's certainly not okay to ignore a federal judge's order to leave, because the message we're not going to send to the whole world is enter the country illegally. Don't worry about it, even though it's a crime. Show up in court or don't show up in court, get a final order. Don't worry about it. No one's looking for you. No. The reason we're out there so hard right now, we're sending the whole world a notice that there are consequences. That's part of the reason why we have the most secure border in the nation's history now. The border patrol's doing a great job. The infrastructure is great. But it's also the consequences of those who got by, sending them home. That also makes our border more secure.
Tom, real quick, when someone like Governor Tim Walz, calls ICE the Gestapo, what does he really want to happen to them?
Violence.
It's a ridiculous statement for anybody that tried to run for an office in the White House. It's ridiculous. What I want to tell him and the rest of them, you're not going to stop us. What happened in San Francisco, you're not going to stop us. You can come out and protest all you want, but if you cross the line, you're going to be prosecuted. I looked at the numbers on Thursday. The numbers of criminal prosecutions for those who impede and interfere are already double of any previous year. And I think we're probably going to triple it by the end of the fiscal year, which ends in another 6 weeks. So you're not going to stop us. We're going to continue doing what the American people voted President Trump in office to do. I wake up every morning proud to work for the greatest president of my lifetime. President Trump proves to the American people every single day why he's the greatest president. Look what he's done to Washington, D.C. Look at the crime dropping in Washington, D.C. He's going to make that the beacon for the entire world. The capital of the strongest and the most.
This is why we like Tom Homan, because let's be real. He's 100% serious. He's like, I'm going to stick it to the mission. If you guys get in the way, you will be locked up. And I'm all for it, because some of these Dems are a bit outrageous. Hey, I not say Dems. I'm going to say the left. These leftists are outrageous. You guys literally think you could go up there and attack ICE, yell in their face, try to tell them to take their mask off so you can dox them. I mean, call them terrorists and all that good stuff. I mean, you know what? Cool. You guys can do that. The name calling is great, but as soon as you try to impede, that's where things get serious. And you might just want to stick on the yelling part. Y'all good at yelling. Stay to that.
Most beautiful country in the world, should be a beacon for everybody. So we're going to make D.C. safe again. We're already doing it. And President Trump's going to take that message across the country. He's going to make America safe again, one illegal alien at a time, one city at a time, one state at a time.
Tom, Gianno Caldwell here. Thank you for keeping us all safe. An Obama-appointed judge is ruling that Alligator Alcatraz cannot add new illegals and must dismantle the facility within 60 days.
Which is crazy. Judicial activism literally is what it is. They're literally saying not only can't you no longer add people in Alligator Alcatraz, but you have to dismantle the entire thing in 30 days. Like, bruh, what? Who is you? Who are you, bro? These district judges are crazy. It's like the Supreme Court, okay, but if you ain't Supreme Court, I mean, you don't really have that much pull. They don't, and they're not going to dismantle Alligator Alcatraz. So they're not going to stop putting people in there. But it's funny how a judge thought that he could. He thought he had that type of power, but they don't. I'm pretty sure just another district judge acting out of pocket.
Florida has a backup
Or
plan,
really
opening
out of his lane.
another detention center called Deportation Depot. This comes as a surge of new detention facilities in other states, such as Speedway Slammer in Indiana and Cornhusker Clinker in Nebraska.
And that's
so
the
my
worst
question
part.
is, Tom,
Judge has no say. The judge literally has no say in that. It doesn't even make sense for the judge to do it. It just makes them look petty and stupid. It's like you have no say in this.
are you concerned about the resistance shutting down other detention facilities for illegals across the country?
Well, I think I appreciate the governor stepping up. We need those beds. I think they're more the soft side facilities, more transition beds. I personally think we need more brick and mortar infrastructure. That's, again, it's going to last for decades. They can't be easily torn down. But I appreciate these governors coming and putting up these temporary structures. Let me tell you something about Alligator Alley. I was there. I mean, I was there because I kept getting asked questions about the inhumane conditions down there. I went there and looked at for myself. I walked through the housing areas. I walked through the medical. I talked to the nurses in the medical. I went to the cafeteria and looked at the food they're preparing from every day. And I talked to the people.
Here's the thing, though. These were appropriated funds to ICE, to the Department of Homeland Security, given to them by Congress. So, I mean, this is literally above a judge. Like, they really have no say in this, but they're going to try. And I mean, pretty sure they're going to take it to the Supreme Court just to lose.
Who kept the books on, the pastors coming in and priests coming in and giving religious meetings to the illegal aliens. Because I was told that wasn't happening. I went down there, I saw a facility that was well built, that was well maintained, very clean, and a high detention standard. So this judge who made this ruling, did they go and look at the facility? They actually walked through and talked to the personnel there? Did he look at there is no danger to the environment?
Oh, and he also said in danger to the environment and dangerous health concerns too. So he didn't even go there, and he's making these wild accusations. So like I said, he's even going off a false premise of why he's shutting it down. And let's be real, it is like a safe facility. I mean, do y'all like that they're going there? Of course y'all don't. But is it a clean, safe facility? Yes, it is. Not like we're throwing them in next to the sewer or something. Like, come on now. We're compassionate people.
Because all the waste, all the garbage is removed out of that area every single day. Nothing's dumped there. And
shout out to my man Chris 34. He says, why don't they complain about Antifa face covers? Because that's their people right there. I mean, that's gang to them. I mean, they're allowed to be masked up. I mean, shoot. They don't even complain about masks on gang members as much as they should.
Existing on an airfield that was already built. The concrete was already there, and they're putting up temporary facilities around that. I went there. I didn't see a single problem with it, and I think this judge made a decision without knowing all the facts. I think in the long run, they'll win. They'll have to appeal it, but I went to that facility. I didn't see a single thing wrong with the facility.
Border Czar Tom Homan, thank you for joining.
It's sad that they didn't have to appeal it because they're just going to tell the judge, like, I mean, one, you're going off bad evidence and you're saying it's a humanitarian and environmental crisis. So you're pretty much saying that they're treated badly in there with no proof and it's hurting the environment with no proof. How do you think this is going to go? Because now I see what he did there. I see what they did. He's like, okay, so you're trying to say that they're being treated badly and they're not being held in healthy conditions. And a judge can say that. And yes, that can get a facility, any facility shut down, but they have to have proof. Like to be honest. But let's go get on to the left side of media and let's see what they're saying about this. All right, guys, let's get right into it. Let's make sure we double tap the screen like the video, guys.
A federal judge ordered that the notorious alligator Alcatraz be shut down within 60 days. In the meantime, no more detainees can be sent there and any expansion at the facility must stop. This suit was brought on by environmental groups who argued the construction of the detention facility in the Everglades bypassed environmental laws. In her 82-page ruling,
environmental group said it, and see the pettiness of it all. It's like, so when did these environmental concerns come about? And don't you think they already thought about these during construction? I'm just saying, don't you think these already talked about during construction? But I wonder what is this 80-page book, damn near a book on how this hurts the environment. I wonder what it says.
The judge sided with the plaintiffs, saying Florida officials never.
Oh, guys, I went ahead and posted the call-in link in the chat, the StreamYard link in the chat. Well, not the chat, sorry, but the post tab on my main page. Appreciate the support, guys. And shout out my man Vlad Steen. He says, yes, the sewers is a grand idea. God damn it, Vlad. Hold on, bro. Wait. No, keep them in cages next to the bayou or something. But not next to sewer. They gonna damn near walk out that bitch with the plague.
Explained why an immigration detention center needed to be located in the middle of sensitive wetlands. Joining us now, Alora Mukherjee, Director of Immigrants' Rights Clinic at Columbia Law School. Alora, always good to have you on with us.
Thank you for having me.
So if this facility is shut down, what happens to all of the people who are inside?
The
Jumbo jet deportation.
Department of Homeland Security is going to need to figure out how to transfer the immigrants who are detained at Alligator Alcatraz to other facilities across the country. This will be challenging because immigration detention facilities across the
I know, and that's the whole thing. They just want to make it challenging so they can hard to do with it. So make it hard to deport these guys. Like, where are you going to hold them if we try to close down everywhere you take them? Like, you see the judicial overreach is like, so yeah, you're pretty much just trying to impede on Trump's agenda. He's trying to get these guys up out of here, but what, you're going to shut down every location you try to send them to on the grounds of, environmental reasons? Like, okay.
Country are already over capacity and are way over capacity in some areas. And this is also a sign to the administration that although Congress has allocated $45 billion for immigration detention in the big, beautiful bill, that it might not be as easy as the administration wanted to set up new detention facilities and create additional bed space for detaining and then deporting individuals.
Does it matter that the reason why there was this decision was because of environmental regulations, that the detention facility?
That's what I was saying. I was like, you're kind of missing us here, my sis. Like, wasn't it environmental reasons? And you're over here just kind of talking about, well, the immigrants and send them, and they're gonna have to send them somewhere else and all that good stuff. But it's like, yeah, but why are y'all trying to shut it down off environmental reasoning? And why wasn't this brought up before the construction? Why did you wait on the damage of the environment to be done before you talked about it if y'all such environmentalists?
This Alligator Alcatraz,
I'm just saying,
did not meet
common
or
sense.
did not have the, environmental approval in order to build in the Everglades.
Oh, and shout out, what he said, Paralimdella. I mean, you guys don't deserve democracy or rule of law. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. I'm not sure who you're putting that towards, but okay. Appreciate the support anyway.
I believe it was something along those lines, and not about the humane aspects of the actual facility and what is happening to the people inside.
Win is a win. That's what I
want. A win is a win, but I wonder, I guess maybe another way of asking is like, is it a flimsy decision that can ultimately still allow Alligator Alcatraz to exist if they address these environmental regulations?
It's a great question.
Yeah, thank you. That was actually a pretty good question one time. It's like, yeah, like if there was all these environmental concerns, why'd y'all just let them keep going? I mean, and then y'all waited till they were done, did their damage on the environment, and then you want to come in and say something? I mean, that's a bit wild.
Or Alcatraz to exist if they address these environmental regulations?
It's a great question. So Alligator Alcatraz was built by the state of Florida, and Florida claimed that it wasn't bound by federal environmental protection laws. So this was an effort to build an immigration detention center by skirting federal environmental protection laws.
Okay. So they're bringing in the federals. Okay, so they're making this like a nation thing instead of just a state thing. Because state, yeah, it's all good, but for some reason, federal, they got a problem. Interesting. And yo, shout out to my man Monty. Monty, you good out there?
Oh, I'm great. Just getting ready for this fight.
All righty, man. All right, guys.
But
yeah.
I was gonna say, so the state of Florida built it and then gave it to the federal government. That's how they skirt the law. Like there's nothing illegal about that. And a federal judge can say whatever the hell a federal judge can say that you have to do handstand push-ups for the rest of your life when you walk. That doesn't mean it's a legal order.
Exactly. So and especially when they're bringing up on these, I would say somewhat bogus, like on a bogus foundation of
Yeah,
environmental
it's a
concerns.
disingenuous argument, because if you were really concerned about um the
Environment,
environmental
yeah,
impact, you would have put in a emergency temporary restraining order, or you would have filed for an emergency TRO to stop construction of it. And because they couldn't get that, because no one believes it's actually an argument, like he said, a win is a win. They're not doing it for environmental reasons. They're using that as a scam, like they use everything else environmental. It's just a
yeah.
scam to stop progress.
And here's the thing, though, it's kind of irritates me because I'm like, all right, well, where's y'all backing from the Environmental Protection Agency? What about the EPA? Like, where's y'all
Ah,
backing from that?
there's nothing. There's nothing environment. There's no environmental impact as far as anything negative would go. Like a it's a landing strip. The concrete's already there. The environmental impact has been done. In fact, by putting it there on top of a landing strip, and if you mitigate your water pollution and your all that fun stuff, there is no measurable environmental impact in that situation. So I
All
don't
right,
know.
hold on, man. Hold on real quick. And shout out to our man Drop Barracuda. He says that judge is probably just boosting their social at this point. Yeah, just going against Trump for a better
Yeah.
political, better political influence.
No, it's not even just better political influence. This guy is
Right?
more than happy to give this ruling because they were judge shopping. That's all they're doing. When you have this many federal judges out there just wheeling and dealing, they're not they don't hold the stature that everybody claims that they do. It's like, oh, it's the third branch of government. Yeah, the third branch of government is co-equal in the fact that the Supreme Court holds the power, not the federal district courts. It has to get to the Supreme Court for it to
Yeah,
have any merit.
not the truth. All right, let's get right back into it.
And the decision says you can't do that. If you are carrying out federal functions, and if this is basically operating as an entity of the federal government, you must comply with federal environmental protection laws.
Oop,
So
oop,
this
oop,
is
oop, oop,
a
oop, oop.
signal to
Hold on.
any entity.
What's up?
So by that definition, she brought up a great point, and I'd like to transition over to the Department of Education. If you receive federal education funds, you must follow federal curriculum. Remember how well that went over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, not too well. But all right, though, let's keep it going.
That is considering whether to build an immigration detention center, that yes, you must abide by federal environmental protections.
I'd like to dig a little bit deeper on that. So basically, federal law regarding the environment and environmental protections is stronger than our human rights law. Is that where the conditions inside Alligator Alcatraz? Look, detainees, extreme heat, insects, lack of food, and functioning toilets. But so the environment triumphs over human beings. Not that I'll take the win, but
unfortunately, conditions in immigration detention centers across the country, including for children, including for families, have been inhumane and degrading, not just under this Trump administration, but for decades. And there are lawsuits that seek to protect the rights of immigrants in detention. For example, the lawsuit that was recently successful here in New York at 26 Federal Plaza. But this environmental win shuts down the facility, and there are few immigration lawsuits.
Nah, the environmental did not shut down the facility. It actually, they got to substantiate that. Like he said, 60 days. Well, bro, you got 60 days to substantiate where is this environmental thing coming from. And then,
No. That was a final order against them to shut it down. They can defy the order.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they still got to substantiate their argument.
Yeah, it's the executive branch, and if they defy the order on appeal, then it just goes up to the Court of Appeals, and if the Court of Appeals wants to fight it and strike it down, then they just go up to the Supreme Court. Like I said earlier, the district court has no bearing. The president of the United States and the executive branch has more power than a district court judge.
But hold on, Monty. You know what's gonna be the worst part about this though is that when those 60 days pass, they'll say that Trump defies the courts.
I mean, they can say that, and Trump is more than entitled to defy a district court judge. He must. the co-equal branch of government does not supersede or does not have more power than the executive branch.
All right, facts. All right, let's keep it going.
Based on humanitarian reasons that are able to shut facilities down.
Can I ask you about
Because there
this
are
new
no
facility
humanitarian
coming,
reasons.
apparently
They're
in
lies.
Nebraska? Corn husker clink. That's what we're hearing from
Love
federal
it.
officials, DHS. The name, I guess, just how flippant they've been about all of this. Alligator Alcatraz, of course, sort of in the same category of making light, making a joke out of human beings being detained. What did you think of when you heard of this site?
I mean, you know, not to be a dick, but they're making light of our border laws, so we're gonna make light of them being in there.
I
Sorry,
was
but
gonna
like I
say,
said,
yeah, no,
yeah.
it's not. It's a detention facility that's held to the same standards as any other detention facility in the United States. They're put there for the same reasons that anybody else would be detained. There's nothing in there that's morally or ethically wrong. There's nothing in there that's morally or ethically,
Yeah, here, no, here's the
skirting
thing
the
though. I
line.
wish the left would stand up for our border policies and our immigration policies harder than they stand up for the illegals that are in here.
Hey, guess what? If you don't have mass border crossings, guess how many deaths you don't have from coyotes losing lives on the way over here. If you don't have illegal border crossings, you can't have a Republican administration that runs on the idea of closing the border. If you don't have illegal border crossings, you don't have the people within the interior to be locked up in these facilities. So maybe you should keep them under Democratic rule from coming into this country so that a Republican can't do this. They don't have the people literally to do it.
Man, well said.
Appalling. We're talking about largely individuals who are law-abiding, many of whom came to the United States with permission, with parole, who have forms of legal status available to them, such as temporary protected status. And the administration is carrying out raids at a rate that is unprecedented in U.S. history, destroying families, destroying communities, destroying businesses, and instilling fear in immigrants nationwide. It is
They should be afraid.
very low moment that we're in right now. And it's more important than ever that Americans across party lines speak out and band together to say, this is not American. This is not what we want the future of our country to be.
Can I get your thoughts really quickly on Kilmer Abrego Garcia and the idea that the government wants to deport him to Uganda?
Absolutely, you can get my thoughts. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. What you think?
You ready? I
What's up?
hope I hope he ends up in alligator Alcatraz. I hope for everybody's sake. Like I don't really care. He's not an American citizen, and
True.
you can dance it all up and make it look fancy and say, oh, they have a protection against them. Guess who listens to that protection or who sets that protection? The government. The government can take that protection away. You can't bar progress from happening because a previous administration that's not here anymore set a rule.
True.
Potential plea deal, but to go to Costa Rica instead. Let me play for you what his lawyer said, and then I'll get your reaction to it on the other side. Watch.
The government designated Uganda as the country of removal. It is preposterous that they would send him to Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language.
I know, but it's freaking hilarious. I'll tell you that right now. That's freaking hilarious.
Stand by. So you're telling me that if you come to a country where you do not speak the language, you're going to cause problems, or there's going to be problems for you?
Oh, light bulb moment, huh, Dems? Really? Look, actually, no, we might have to go back to what my man said on that note. Like, you're just about to send him somewhere that he don't even know the language? Oh, wait, that's a problem? Oh, it is? Because y'all don't treat it as a problem when it's us.
Their side, watch.
The government designated Uganda as the country of removal. It is preposterous that they would send him to Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language,
a country
with documented human rights violations.
He'll be okay.
When there are so many other options. This family suffered enough. They need to stop trying to separate them. everything
No, let them all live in Uganda together.
that they've
Bye.
done to Mr. Abrego Garcia,
You can live there.
they've done it for one reason, which is that he had the temerity to exercise his constitutional rights.
Of what?
Your thoughts on not just the comments by the lawyer there, but the attempt by the government to send this man to a country that has known human rights abuses and has no cultural.
Bro, all right, come on now. Uganda not that bad. There's Americans that live in Uganda right now. Shoot,
Hey,
I know
Seth.
even there's YouTubers who live in Uganda right now that
Hey.
are from America.
Can we look up for everybody in the back that might be new here? Is Obrego Garcia a U.S. citizen, or is he a green card holder, or is he a permanent resident? What is he?
I believe he was no, I don't think he was a green card holder. Like he came over here illegally in his younger ages, I believe.
He got
But-
DACA, I believe.
Yeah. But no, you know what's so crazy? I mean, so you know how they kind of bash Trump when you talk about Africa and how shithole countries?
He just called it a shithole country.
Yeah, he just called Uganda basically a shithole country, basically. And it's like, but weren't y'all kind of saying that weren't y'all kind of criticizing Trump for that? The double standard is crazy.
There is no standard but the double standard, and that will always be true. We just have to get if you're gonna hold a double standard in an argument, you don't deserve to be in the argument. No one should listen to you.
Yeah.
Country that has known human rights abuses and has no cultural or linguistic affiliation to.
This is unprecedented
Huh.
for the Department of Homeland
Really?
Security and the
Really,
Department
it's
of Justice
unprecedented. It's almost like it happens daily in America.
I mean, it's not the first time we done sent some guy to a country he never been in or anything like that. I
Hey,
mean, it ain't the
Seth.
first time. But here's the thing: Obrego Garcia did this to himself. He said he didn't want to go back to his home country. So
Hey,
it is
Seth.
what it is. Yeah.
Guess what?
What's up?
We're now dealing with the consequences of someone that's not culturally assimilated or doesn't speak our language. 3 people are now dead because an illegal immigrant that did not speak our language, could not pass road sign tests, made an illegal